Hello, grade 7. Welcome to our fourth quarter week 1 lessons in Mapeh. Let us start with music. We will talk about the Philippine festivals. First one is the Ati-Atihan Festival. It is so called as the mother of all Philippine festivals. Ati-Atihan means to be like Atis or Atas, and they are the natives of Aklan province. It is a festival dance that originated in Ibajay, Aklan in honor of the patron Saint Santo Niño and culminates a week-long celebration on the third Sunday of January. They celebrated it with the rhythmic beating of drums and traditional street dancing. Part of their penance was to blacken their faces with coal and to dress in rags, which later on became the Ati-Atihan festival costume. Aside from Ati-Atihan, we also have here in the Philippines the Kadayawan Festival. Kadayawan is derived from the Mandaya word, which means madayaw, and the meaning of it is treasured or valuable. Back then, the name of the festival was called Apo Duwaling. It is after the three natural wonders that you can find in Davao: the Mount Apo, Durian, and the Waling-Waling. It was the first officially renamed as the Kadayawan Festival in 1988 by then our Mayor Rodrigo Duterte and held every third week of August with the feast of St. Peter, the patron saint of Davao, and the ethnic tribes of Davao would come together to celebrate and perform rituals that paid tribute to the nature of gods. Next to that is the Moriones Festival. The Moriones Festival is a Lenten festival which is held annually or once a year on Holy Week on the island of Marinduque, Philippines. It is almost certain that the word Moriones was derived from Moros. The origin of the festival is traced to Mogpog and the year 1887 when Dionisio Santiago, which is the parish priest of said town, organized it for the first time. So the Moriones are men and women in costumes and masks replicating the garb of biblical Roman soldiers as interpreted by the local folks. Next is the Sinulog Festival. The word sinulog means graceful dance. So wherein it all started in 1980. The Cebu City government organized the Sinulog Festival and eventually gave incentives also to the tribal dance groups with a simple dance that represents the sulog or current of a river in Cebu. It is held every third Sunday of January to honor the Santo Niño, and it is done by a dance ritual in which it tells the story of the Filipino people's pagan past and their acceptance of Christianity. Fourth is the Ibalong Festival. Ibalong Festival is also known as the Ibalon Festival, originated in Legazpi City and kicks off on the 25th of October through to the 31st of the same month. The annual festival's name was inspired by the popular legend that regales visitors with tales of the city's pre-colonial past. It aims to express warmth and goodwill to all people. Visitors and tourists are encouraged to celebrate with the Bicolanos. And last, the Sublian Festival. The Sublian Festival is a 2-week-long celebration which happens every year of the 23rd of July. It is rooted in the Batangueños' devotion to the town's patron, the Holy Cross in Bawan and Agoncillo, and the Santo Niño in Batangas City. A subli is presented during a feast as a ceremonial worship dance in honor to the Holy Cross. Alright, so as your activity in music, for your activity 1, you are going to watch and listen to the musical songs from the different Philippine festivals using the YouTube link below. So you will see here the different YouTube link. I will just send it on our GC, the following YouTube link, so that you can watch and listen to the following musical songs which is from different Philippine festivals. Alright, so after listening to that different Philippine festivals, then you are going to answer the activity 2. Tell me something about. So the direction is that you are going to complete the table below by telling something about the origin, the cultural background, and the musical characteristics of the selected Philippine festivals. Let's say for example, on number 1, which is the Ati-Atihan Festival. Where do you think it is originated? You can just simply write the place of origin or where it was came from, on what particular province it was came from. Next, you can also write in here the cultural background of the particular Ati-Atihan festival. And last, please do write the musical characteristics. How can you describe the musics that they've used during their festival? As simple as that. So that is 6. Ati-Atihan Festival, Kadayawan Festival, Moriones Festival, Sinulog Festival, Ibalong Festival, and last is the Sublian Festival. So, let us forward on arts. On arts, we will also talk about the different festivals in the Philippines. But in here, we are going to separate them from religious festival to non-religious festival. Once we've said religious festival, those festivals are related to any religious groups, most especially if it is about Christianism. And it is non-religious festival if it is not related, of course, on any religious group. So let us start to the sample festivals in the Philippines, which is categorized as religious festival. One of it, of course, is the Moriones Festival. In here, the Moriones or the Morions or the Moriones is a costume worn by the Marinduqueños on the western side of Marinduque. However, it only takes place in 3 towns. Only 3 towns on the Boac, Gasan, and Bugpog. This costume is worn during a week-long festival called the Moriones Festival. And this festival is held during the Holy Week, as we've said a while ago in music. So the last week of Lent, which is 40-day period of fasting beginning Ash Wednesday and ending on the Saturday before the Easter. So since they are replicating the Roman soldiers and they are portraying the happenings or the story or the biblical story that happens before, so of course that is related to our religion. That's why it is categorized as religious festival. Next religious festival is an Ati-Atihan Festival. Why it is categorized as religious? Because Ati-Atihan Festival is honoring the Santo Niño, and it is celebrated by rejoicing and energetic merriment on the streets. So the name means make-believe ates. So the festival is also named after the Ati or the Itas, indigenous natives of the island, and then the festival is held on the 3rd week of January every year of the 2nd Sunday after Epiphany in Calibo in the Aklan province on the island of Panay, as what we've said a while ago. So again, it is categorized as religious festival because they are honoring their Santo Niño. Next, religious festival is Sinulog Festival. Why do you think or why do we think it is so called as under the religious festival? So the city of Cebu is known for its lechon, dried mangoes, and the Sinulog Festival. So the native dance of the Sinulog commemorates the acceptance of the Filipino people of Christianity. That's the reason why it is belong to the religious festival, because they commemorating or celebrating the acceptance of the whole Filipino people. It commemorates the acceptance of the Filipino people on the religion of Christianity, and more specifically the Catholicism, to replace their belief of animalism or being a pagan, because before Filipinos are not yet Christians. So that is the Sinulog Festival. Next, let's move on to the non-religious festivals. One of the non-religious festivals in the Philippines is the Mascara Festival. What makes a party fun? It's in the smiles of the people you see, enjoying every part of the celebration. So the Mascara Festival emphasizes just that during the celebrations, from the combinations of the English word mas, meaning many, and the Spanish word cara, which means many face. So while they are walking on the streets, you will see a mascara which having a smiley face. So this festival is celebrating every third weekend of October or on the closest weekend to October 19, and it dramatizes the steadfast character of the Negrenses and symbolizes what the city smiles, Bacolod City. So we all know that the Bacolod City is also known as the City of Smiles. That's why every time they are celebrating this mascara festival, you will see on their mascara that they are smiling. Alright, so next to the non-religious festival is the Kadayawan Festival. This is the ritual of Kadayawan that is celebrated in Davao City. It is a festival of thanksgiving. It is they are celebrating this because they are giving thanks for the gifts of nature, for having them the gifts of nature such as the Mount Apo, Waling-Waling, and also the Durian, which is the wealth of culture and the bounties of harvest and serenity of living that is derived from the Bawenyong word madaya, or good, valuable, and superior in English. The festival is honored by displaying various farming implements, fruits, flowers, vegetables, rice, and corn grains as tribute to the god. So as you can see, there are a lot of flowers and also fruits which is placed or decorated on their floats. Alright, so those are the difference between the religious festival and non-religious festival that we have here in the Philippines. So as your activity in arts, you are just going to check. As simple as that. Check the elements of art that present in each festival or in each Philippine festival. So, you will start on the Moriones Festival. Do you see any line on this picture? Then just put a check. If there is a shape that you will see on the picture, put a check. If there is a color, then put a check. Is there a value on that? What do you mean by value? The darkness and the lightness of the color. So you will check on that. The form, is it 3D? Do you see a 3D on that kind of picture? Does it have a picture smooth or looks rough? And the space, does it have a positive and negative space? If you think there is no present or there is an absence of elements of art on the picture, then kindly leave it blank. Just do not put any check on it. But once you see there is a present elements of art on that particular picture, then put a check on it. Alright, so next, let's move on PE. So on PE, we will focus on another kind of folk dance. But before that, let us know the basic concept about the folk dance. This one is just only a review. A folk dancing is the oldest form of dance, probably one of the earliest forms of communication. It is this self-expression that separates folk dancing from the functional aspects of games and gymnastics in the physical education. So, a folk dance may be defined as traditional dance. That's why folk dance, it is traditional dance of a given country which evolve naturally and spontaneously with everyday activities such as occupations, customs, festivals, rituals, and innumerable themes common to all people everywhere. So that is the basic concept of folk dance. So how can we know, or what are the different characteristics if that particular dance is a Philippine folk dance? If and only if it has the following characteristics. First, the dances begin and end with a saludo, just like our Ernest, right? If you still remember, even in folk dances or Philippine folk dances, we start and end with a saludo to give respect to our partner. Next, in general, dancers are about 6 to 8 feet apart, and that is normal. So there is also a little body contact, although holding hands is common. So holding hands with a partner, that is a common. And most dances are done in pairs. And it is performed by both young and old and by both sexes. And it has a hand movements play and the hand movements play a very important role. Alright, so next to that is the different classification of folk dances. There are a lot of classifications of Philippine folk dances. First one is the dances of the Cordillera groups. What are the different dances of Cordillera groups? Examples are the following. First one is the balangbang. Balangbang is a victory dance performed after the head hunting. Next is bumaya, a festival dance among the Ifugao for Thanksgiving in their gans. They have also the ragragsakan, that is a work dance, and they have also idaw, that is a mock battle dance. Next is the Western influence dances. So this one is a Philippine folk dance which has an influence by the Western. So examples of those that we have, example of the Philippine folk dances that we have here, which has a Western influence, is the Pandango sa Ilaw. It is a dance from Mindoro using tighoy or the oil lamps. We also have the Cariñosa, that is the famous national dance in the Philippines depicting the character of Filipina, and the Jota de Manila, the Manila's version of the famous Jota. Next classification, or the third classification, is the dances of the Muslim groups. So, examples of that is, first one is Singkil. That is a Maranao dance derived from the sounds of all bell anklets worn by the princess. So, next to that is the Jangay, wherein the Tausug female are using extended fingernails. And last is the Suwakusuwa. That is a dance from Holosulu, which means my pomelo tree. Next, classification is the dances of the lesser known groups or the ethnic dances. Example of that is Dugso, that is a dance by the woman commonly wearing a bell anklets driving away bad spirits. And also the Binanog, which is a version of hawk dance. And last, the dances of the countryside. Examples of it are, first one is the Bulaklakan, wherein you are dancing uses the arches festooned with flowers, a lot of flowers as props, and the Binasuan, the dance which requires a skill in balancing glasses of wine, wow, and also the Maglalatik. This one is a playful dance of young men which is wherein they are beating the coconut shells, and then the Tinikling, just like what what you did before on last quarter. It is derived from the long leg Philippine bird, which is called the tikling. And they have also the gayong gayong, which is a game dance, and the tino labong, which is a dance named after a bird again, which is called tolabong I kapis. Alright, so those are the different classifications of Philippine folk dances. So for your activity in PE, you are just going to complete the table. So on the first table, you will see that you are going to write the different classifications of folk dances. Actually, it is being written here and explained a while ago. These are the following dances of Cordillera groups: Western influence dances of the Muslim groups, dances of the lesser known groups, ethnic dances, and last, the dances of the countryside. You are just going to write it here. And then, give the title of the dance. There are a lot of dances that they have in each of the classification. Let's say, for example, on the dances of countryside. So, you are going to write one of the title, just only one title of the dance under the classification that you are going to write. So, let's say, for example, example title of the dance is Bulaklakan. Then, you're going to write the Bulaklakan here. Dances of the Countryside, that is the classification. Then the title, Bulaklakan. What about the dance description? Those are the things which is written inside the close and open parentheses. You are just going to write the description of that particular dance that you've written on this column. Alright, so what is bulaklakan? What is the description of it? Of course, it is the dance using arches festooned in flowers. As simple as that. You can complete this by just copying on the previous slides. Alright, so let's move on health. And let us talk about the non-communicable diseases. I repeat, it is non-communicable diseases. One of the examples of non-communicable diseases are asthma and allergies. Let us talk about the asthma. What is asthma? It is a condition in which your airways or the tubes that carry air into and out of the lungs makes narrow and swell and may produce extra mucus. So for some people, asthma is just only a minor nuisance, but for others, it can be a major problem that it interferes with daily activities and may lead to a life-threatening asthma attack. An asthma cannot be cured. Take note of that. It cannot be cured, but its symptoms can be controlled. Because asthma often changes over time, it is important that you work with your doctor to track your signs and symptoms and adjust your treatment as needed. So what are the different signs and symptoms of an asthma? First one, if you have the difficulty in breathing, then that is one of the signs. Next, if you have wheezing or whistling sound while you are inhaling and exhaling. Next, chest tightness or pain. Next, if you are coughing, fainting, you have a blue lips or blue finger, and if you have a shortness of breath. Then those are the following signs and symptoms of a person having an asthma. So, the following are the irritants or substances, the triggers. Okay? The irritants and substances that triggers allergies are called allergens. Okay? So, it can trigger signs and symptoms of asthma. So, asthma triggers are different from person to person, and it can include the following. Once you inhale some pollens or animal dander and mold spores, then it can trigger your asthma. Aside from that, the air pollutants, just like the cigarette smoke, the strong perfume, or the smoke from the cars outside. And if you have also sinusitis, viral upper respiratory infection, if you have also stress, and if you are taking some drugs. So these are the following allergens that may trigger your asthma. So it may be prevented through lifestyle changes, activity reduction, allergy shots, and medications. So others who having an asthma also using some medications or allergy shots such as the inhaler and many more. Depends on the doctor. Next is the allergy. Another non-communicable disease is an allergy. What is it? It is a misguided reaction to foreign substances by the immune system. So the allergic reaction is misguided in that these foreign substances are usually harmless. The substances that trigger allergy are called allergens, such as pollen, dust mites, mold, animal dander, food, latex, and insect stings. So what are the signs and symptoms of an allergy? First one, just like in asthma, the dust and pollen that you may inhale, because it can block or congested your nose. You can have also an itchy eyes and nose, having a runny nose, swollen and watery eyes, and a cough. So um, once you are exposed to the following dust and pollen, then you can have the following signs and symptoms. Next, also food. Once you've eaten some food which is not suitable for your immune system, then you can also have an allergy to this kind of food. Then, once you've eaten this kind of food, you can vomit. You can also have a swollen tongue, tingling in the mouth, swelling on your lips, on your face, throat, stomach cramps, shortness of breath, rectal bleeding, itchiness in the mouth, and also having a diarrhea, meaning you have an allergy on that particular food. Next is the insect stings. So wheezing, significant swelling at the site of the sting, a sudden drop in the blood pressure. You can have also an itchy skin, shortness of breath, restlessness, hives, or a red and very itchy rash that spreads across the body, dizziness, cough, chest tightness. And even if you are also allergy with a specific medication or any drugs, you can also have an allergy on different drugs. If you are having an allergy with that kind particular drug, then you can have the following signs such as wheezing, swelling of your tongue, lips, and face. You can also have rashes, itchiness, and if symptoms become severe, anaphylaxis can develop. Ooh. So, it may be prevented by avoiding your allergens and take your medicine as prescribed. If you have an allergic attack or reaction, so you should go to your doctor to seek help. And for your activity in health, you're just going to fill in the table below with appropriate information about the asthma and allergy. So, let us start with the asthma. What do you think are the causes of asthma and also the causes of allergies? Then, on the third column, you are just going to write the signs or symptoms of the following non-communicable diseases. Example, for the asthma, what are the cause of having an asthma? It is actually written in here. Right. Alright, what are the cause of having an asthma? Of course, allergy, pollens, smoke, if you are stressed also, and drugs. What about its signs and symptoms? Here are the following also. You will having a difficulty in breathing, fainting, shortness of breath, and many more. So I give you already the answer. What about the allergies? Also like that. You're just going to review our previous slides. Then after answering that table, you're going to answer the following guided questions. What is the difference between allergies and asthma? Of course, they have difference. And for the number 2, what things are most likely to cause allergies and asthma? What are their similarities? What are the most likely to cause allergies and asthma? Example, pollens, right? That is one of the causes why you can have an asthma and also an allergy. And there are also a lot more. Next, if you have either of these two diseases, what will you do to prevent from allergy attack or asthma attack? So, please do put or write your answer in here. Please take note that after answering these, take a picture of it and just send it on my FB Messenger. So, that would be our lesson for this week 1. Thank you for listening. Please do not forget to like and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.